going to be a pre-tape show, folks. I'm sure you already know that, though. God damn. Just waiting for the intro song. That's all I'm doing here. It's customary. It's tradition is what it is, really. That's right. You want a little something, something? Here, I'll give you some something, something. Check this out.
I eat extra sharp. That's what I eat.
There you go. That's all you get. Hello, users, and welcome to another episodic installation of Above It All. I am your host, the fucker, and I'm going to do a pre-tape show because the internet out here is not working at all. So right now I'm using my mobile hotspot as of this current moment, and I'm using my mobile hotspot, and it's not good enough to stream on. So I've got a little bit of a problem here. But I'm going to be doing a pre-tape show for Saturday, and today is Saturday. So I'm going to try to upload this as soon as I can. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, it's just a lot to see, and we are in fact going to see it. And so we're going to see it. And after seeing it, after bearing witness to how it goes, I will be doing another pre-tape show for Sunday. That's tomorrow. And hopefully, theoretically, that one should air at 10 o'clock Eastern time. Ideally, got myself a Wawa latte here. Well, it's not a latte, it's just a coffee. My reusable straw, because I like to reduce, reuse, and recycle. That's what I do here. I reduce. And then after reducing, after there being a palpable reduction, I like to reuse. And then, once I'm done reusing it a couple times, I'll recycle, and then the whole thing starts all over again. But folks, we got a show here today. Probably only going to do about 40 minutes or so per one of these pre-tapes, and then we'll go from there. But we got a show. It is a show. I know that this week has been a little bit rough for the viewers, and I apologize for that. But you're gonna have to get over it. Because this is just how it is. So you're gonna have to get over it, and once you're done getting over it, things should be back to normal Monday, Tuesday at the latest. We'll see though. But Monday things should be back to normal. I hope. So we'll see. All right. I don't know. Anyway, so we got a show. I'm going to talk about elephants today. Because I read a story about elephants that makes me upset. So I want to talk about elephants today. So this is from Global Elephants shared this on Twitter. Tuskless elephant evolution linked to ivory hunting. Now, this is something I've talked about a lot on my show. For those of you that don't know, I'm an elephant fan. I'm a fan of elephants. I think they're cool. I like them a lot. And so I like elephants. A new study suggests that severe ivory poaching in parts of Mozambique has led to the evolution of tuskless elephants. We're talking about just over the course of 100 years. In order to affect evolution over the course of 100 years, you need to do some real fucked up shit. And that's exactly what poachers have done. The study published in Science magazine found that in Gorongosa National Park, a previously rare genetic condition had become more common as ivory poaching used to finance a civil war pushed the species to the brink of extinction. What is a civil war? What is this shit? What the hell are you people doing? Oh, okay, so let me get this straight. So humans want to kill each other because they're dumb. And that's the elephant's problem. Why? Are there elephant civil wars? Do elephant civil wars affect humans? Do dolphin civil wars happen, and do they affect humans? Last time I checked, that's not the case. So why are human civil wars affecting elephants? Why are there wars to begin with? It just doesn't make any sense. Humans are one of the only species that kill each other just for fun. That's all war is. It's just like, oh, I'm gonna have a little bit of fun. Let's go kill each other for stupid shit. I hate humans, man. Humans are the worst. And I love elephants. Before the war, about 18.5% of females were naturally tuskless, but that figure has risen to 33% among elephants born since the early 1990s. Some 90% of Mozambique's elephant population was slaughtered by fighters on both sides of the Civil War that lasted from 1977 to 1992. Poachers sold the ivory to finance the vicious conflict between government forces and anti-communist insurgents. Government forces and anti-communist insurgents. Interesting. This is, I'm reading from the BBC, by the way, so that's interesting verbiage for them. Elephants without tusks were left alone by the hunters, leading to an increased likelihood that they would breed and pass on the tuskless trait to their offspring. Researchers have long suspected that the trait, only seen in females, was linked to the sex of the elephant. After the genomes of tusked and tuskless elephants were sequenced, analysis revealed that the trend was linked to a mutation on the X chromosome that was fatal to males, which did not develop properly in the womb and dominant in females. The study's co-author, Professor Robert Pringle of Princeton University, pointed out that the discovery could have a number of long-term effects for the species. He noted that because the tuskless trait was fatal to male offspring, it was possible that fewer elephants would be born overall. This could slow the recovery of the species, which now stands at just over 700 in the park. Yo, I'm sick of humans. Let me tell you. Humans, bad deal. Should have got rid of them from the get-go. Tusklessness might become advantageous during a war, Professor Pringle, I can't get over that, said, but that comes at a cost. Another potential knock-on is changes to the broader landscape, as the study has revealed that tusked and tuskless animals eat different plants. But Professor Pringle emphasized that the trait was reversible over time as populations recovered from the brink of elimination. So we actually expect that this syndrome will decrease in frequency in our study population, provided that the conservation picture continues to stay as positive as it has been recently. There's such a blizzard of depressing news about biodiversity and humans in the environment, and I think it's important to emphasize that there are some bright spots in that picture. But that's provided that they don't continue poaching in the area. Now again, folks, what is ivory for? Oh, it looks nice. I'm gonna wear an elephant tusk around my neck. I'm gonna make a cane out of ivory. Make it out of wood. Comes from the fucking ground. I just don't understand the idea that humans think that the whole world belongs to them and only them. Without elephants, humans wouldn't be where we are today. Again, look at where the mammoths are in Europe and North America. Look at where they are. That is to say, in the ground. They're all dead. Why? Because humans killed them. Imagine. Right? There's a world before we discovered the great mammoth. Right? The mammoths. Humans lived for hundreds of thousands of years. Early humans evolved alongside mammoths. Early cave paintings have mammoths on them. And then we killed them all. And then there were people that were born that maybe would have heard stories about the mammoths. Don't know what those are. Right? And then, a couple more generations down the line, elephants don't exist at all in Europe, in North America. And then we discover, wait a second, we found some bones in the goddamn ground. Looks like there was a mammoth here. There was an elephant in fucking, North Dakota. How did that happen? How come we didn't know this? Well, we did know this. It's just that we killed them all. Now, again, it's, presumed that, of course, climate changes and stuff, maybe escalated that as well. And it was, could have happened without human involvement, and it's impossible to know for sure, and you can't prove a counterfactual and all that stuff. But either way, I mean, humans have had such a negative effect on the environment. And elephants, I love elephants. They're beautiful. I feel like in our lifetime, well, my lifetime, I'm sorry for the older people in my audience. God bless you. but this ain't for you. But in my lifetime, I'm 25 years old. I feel like in my lifetime, we're going to be able to communicate with elephants. I feel like we're going to be able to have conversations with elephants in my lifetime because they're smart enough to hold conversations. We have begun to somewhat translate their language. They speak in rumbles and vibrations. So we've been able to start the process of translating some of what they mean when they speak to each other. And I feel like that, you know, given another 30, 40 years, I feel like we're going to be talking to elephants. Hey, Dololo, how's your day going? Oh, it's going great. Just, you know, foraging. I ate a tree earlier. Well, you know, I ate a couple branches with, you know. I had an apple. Damn, that sounds great. Have a good day. I feel like that's going to happen in my lifetime. Unless these fucking poachers keep doing this stupid ass bullshit. So just wanted to read this article about elephants. I love elephants, and I hope that I can convince my audience to love elephants as well because they're beautiful creatures. So I've got a couple clips that I'm going to be playing on my phone. Some audio. So give me a goddamn second here, folks. Give me a goddamn second. I gotta load it up. Gotta load this shit the fuck up. So right now it's loaded down, and I gotta load it up. So how the hell? Okay. So Joe Biden. Let me turn my volume up. So Joe Biden, at the presidential town hall that I believe was in Baltimore a couple days ago, Joe Biden said that he was going to use the National Guard to deal with supply chain issues. So I want to talk about this a little bit, the supply chain issues as well. But I want to hear this answer first. So let's play it into the microphone. Wait.
Chain issue? Absolutely. Positively. I will do that. But in addition to that, what you got to do is you got to get
I don't know where the
and unload it. And one of the things in my infrastructure plan, there's $16 billion for port expansion. We have to be able to move things along. Because what's happening is when a product your mother may need for interior design in terms of drapery or colors or something that is imported from somewhere else. Well, guess what? A lot of these places, particularly in South Asia, are closing down because of COVID. The businesses are just flat closing.
So would you consider the National Guard for trucking? Because there's a lot of problems with not enough truck drivers right now.
That's why what we're doing now.
Do you have a timetable for that?
Well, I have a timetable to. First of all, I want to get the ports up and running and get the railroads and the railheads and the trucks in port ready to move, because I've gotten Walmart and others to say we're going to move stuff off of the port into our warehouses.
You're actually talking about having National Guardsmen or women driving trucks?
The answer is yes, if we can't increase the number of truckers, which we're in the process of doing.
Okay.
If we did it this moment, we're not. But the whole point is we've got to get the small business as well, because the big guys are in trouble. And a lot of the product that your mother makes, the things she does in her interior design building, the material she buys from larger outfits. I assume. I don't know that. But my whole point is small businesses need the help badly. Small businesses make up 60% of all the revenue coming from business out there.
All right, so I don't know what the hell he was talking about with my mom, but my mom's dead, Biden. But either way, yeah, so, okay, first of all, if National Guard could be activated during a supply chain crisis, and the National Guard can be activated during the Black Lives Matter uprising after George Floyd was murdered, right? How come they can't be activated during other things? Like, I don't know, the coronavirus pandemic? How come you can't have National Guardsmen supplying masks to everyone in the country? How come you can't have them, deliver groceries to people's door so that they don't need to go out to the grocery store and potentially get infected with a deadly virus? My problem here with this whole supply chain thing is, one, is all foreseeable. Two, this is capitalism, global capitalism failing. Three, it was foreseeable. How come it's affecting us? You know, you'd think the people in charge, they're pro-capitalism. Joe Biden is a proud capitalist. You'd think they would have seen this coming and have acted accordingly, but no. They're just going to let the crisis hit us, right? And if National Guard people can drive trucks for private companies, why can't... Hear me out here. Why can't we have the National Guard just take over Walmart? Listen to me, okay? If Walmart's not doing the job that it needs to do of getting groceries in people's refrigerators, if it's not doing the job that it needs to do in stocking, you know, like chairs and candles and fucking blankets in the hallways or whatever, in the aisles, how come we don't have the National Guard just take over Walmart? I'm just saying, like, if the National Guard can take over truck driving, if it can take over transport, if it can take over shipping, how come it can't take over other things that would help our economy recover from this worldwide depression? I don't know. It's a little food for thought. I think they can. I think they should. But they won't. They're going to do the bare minimum. And also, the National Guard is such a waste of fucking money. Like, when do we use these motherfuckers? They're just sitting there forever doing nothing. And then, like, whenever there's a crisis, and then you just kick the can down the road and whoa, the crisis is huge. Now we got to have a fucking soldier drive a fucking truck up and down the goddamn I-95. It's a disaster, folks. It's a disaster. And I just wanted to talk about that. I wanted to touch on it. You know, here's my hand. Here's it. I wanted to touch it. On it. I don't know. I'm trying to be funny. It's clearly not working. So I'm just going to go ahead and end the segment. Wawa coffee, folks. What do you want from me? I don't even know what I got. I think it's like some sugar-free caramel bullshit. Look at that. Listen to it. Wait for it. Turn your volume up. There it is. All right. So do I have any other fucking bullshit that I can talk about? Let's go.
Would you consider...
I don't... Shut the fuck up, Biden. All right. Yeah, I want to talk about this Alec Baldwin thing. Okay, so here's okay. All right. So, Alec Baldwin has been in the news for killing someone. Now, obviously Alec Baldwin did not intend to kill someone. I would even say Alec Baldwin did not kill anyone. He was just the one who pulled the trigger. You know, I'm sure as an actor, Alec Baldwin has all the time fired prop guns or gun. You know, in movies they use real guns, but with like different cartridges or whatever. I'm sure he has probably fired these weapons thousands of times in his career and would have no reason to expect that these guns would be fatal, I would presume. So I do not fault him. And I know that there's like this right-wing media frenzy that's trying to attack him because he played Trump on SNL or something, and they think that, oh, we can own the libs or whatever. So they're stupid. But also, this is an important story because it touches upon strikes and union workers that have been disrespected and mistreated in this country, especially in the film industry. So I want to read this article. I'm reading this from LA Times. Rust crew describes on-set gun safety issues and misfires days before fatal shooting. Hours before actor Alec Baldwin fatally shot a cinematographer on the New Mexico set of Rust with a prop gun, a half dozen camera crew workers walked off the set to protest working conditions. The camera operators and their assistants were frustrated by the conditions surrounding the low-budget film, including complaints about long hours, long commutes, and waiting for their paychecks, according to 3 people familiar with the matter who are not authorized to comment. That's another thing. Someone's dead, and people need authorization to comment on the conditions. Safety protocols standard in the industry, including gun inspections, were not strictly followed on the Rust set near Santa Fe. These sources said at least one of the camera operators complained last weekend to a production manager about gun safety on the set. 3 crew members who were present at the Bonanza Creek Ranch set on Saturday said they were particularly concerned about 2 accidental prop gun discharges. Are you listening to this? This is a serious thing here. Baldwin's stunt double accidentally fired 2 rounds Saturday after being told the gun was cold, lingo for a weapon that doesn't have any ammunition, including blanks. 2 crew members who witnessed the episode told the Los Angeles Times. So not only were blanks not in the gun, under the stunt double's understanding, it was just I messed up that speech. But yeah, they were under the impression that there was nothing in the gun, that they were just holding a gun. You know what I mean? So there should have been an investigation into what happened. A crew member said, there were no safety meetings. There was no assurance that it wouldn't happen again. All they wanted to do was rush, rush, rush. A colleague was so alarmed by the prop gun misfires that he sent a text message to the unit production manager. We've now had 3 accidental discharges. This is super unsafe, according to a copy of the message reviewed by the Times. The safety of our cast and crew is top priority of Rust Productions and everyone associated with the company, Rust Movie Production said in a statement. Clearly that is not true. Though we were not made aware of any official complaints concerning weapon prop safety on the set, we were not made aware. So according to the people that worked there and according to the union workers that walked off the set, these were problems that were developing on the scene the whole time, right? It was escalating over and over and over again. And then they said, we've had enough. There's a problem here. Something needs to be done. And then they said, nah, it'll be fine. And then, whoops, someone's dead. Now all of a sudden they're going to say they don't know what the hell's going on. Whoop. Just woke up from a coma. What's up? I don't think so. I'm not going to bother reading their statement. The tragedy occurred Thursday afternoon during filming of a gunfight that began in a church that is part of an old western town at the ranch. Baldwin's character was supposed to back out of the church, according to the production notes obtained by the Times. It was the 12th day of a 21-day shoot. Cinematographer Helena Hutchins was huddled around a monitor, lining up her next camera shot when she was accidentally killed by the prop gun fired by Baldwin. The actor was preparing to film a scene in which he pulls a gun out of the holster, according to a source close to the production. Crew members had already shouted "cold gun" on the set. So this was supposed to be a gun that had nothing in it. The filmmaking team was lining up his camera angles and had yet to retreat to the video village, an on-set area where the crew gathers to watch filming from a distance via monitor. Instead, the B camera operator was on a dolly with a monitor, checking out the potential shots. Hutchins was also looking at the monitor from over the operator's shoulder, as was the movie's director, Joel Souza, I don't know, who was just crouching behind her. Baldwin removed the gun from its holster once without incident, but the second time he did so, ammunition flew toward the trio around the monitor. The projectile whizzed by the camera operator, but penetrated Hutchins near her shoulder, then continued through to Souza, Hutchins immediately fell to the ground as crew members applied pressure to her wound in an attempt to stop the bleeding. Late Friday, the Associated Press reported that Baldwin was handed a loaded weapon by an assistant director who indicated it was safe to use in the moments before the actor fired it. According to court records, the assistant director did not know the prop gun was loaded with live rounds, according to a search warrant filed in the Santa Fe County Court. The person in charge of overseeing the gun props, known as the armorer, Hannah Gutierrez Reed, could not be reached for comment. The 24-year-old is the daughter of the veteran armorer Thel Reed and had recently completed her first film as the head armorer for the movie The Old Way with Clint Howard, I don't care, and Nicolas Cage. Well, I do care now, Nicolas Cage, I do care. Earlier in the day, the camera crew arrived as expected at 6:30 a.m. and began gathering their gear and personal belongings to leave, one knowledgeable crew member told The Times. So again, folks, I don't need to read this whole article. So the camera crew, members of the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees, spent an hour assembling their gear at the Bonanza Creek Ranch. Several non-union crew members showed up to replace them, two of the knowledgeable people said. So union members walked off the set because of unsafe conditions, right? It was already previously established that prop guns actually had live rounds in them. So this was like either the third or the fourth time that a so-called cold weapon fired an actual round. And then so union members were like, yo, this is not okay. Let's get the fuck out of here. And then the rest production crew was like, fuck them. I want to finish this movie. I need to get paid. Well, they paid the price for that one. I mean, again, this is a completely preventable tragedy, and I really do feel like if there's any accountability, it should not be on Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin is just the one who had the gun. He was told that the gun was safe. He is an actor. I'm sure that he has fired several prop guns before in his career. I guarantee you. I don't know. I've probably never seen an Alec Baldwin movie. Maybe I have. I don't know. But it's not on him. It's on the people that let the union workers walk off stage. It's on the people that said, let's keep going. It's on the people that said, who cares if it's misfired already several times. It's on those people. Those are the people who killed the filmmaker here. And it's a huge problem. And this is just indicative of what happens when you don't care about safety. When you're playing with real guns, because that's what they use in movies because they look real. So they use real guns. When you're playing with real guns, you got to be very safe about them. And so, I mean, again, this whole thing is just such a tragedy. And it's bizarre that any of this is even happening. Really. I mean, there's all these strikes going on. You have in the news, the Netflix workers walking out. You have now this, and these are all big news stories. These are big news stories. Like, people that don't follow politics are hearing about these news stories, and they're discussing them. And what the core to these news stories are labor problems, labor struggles. Unions walking out, protesting, demanding better working conditions. And now you see why union workers are demanding better working conditions, because this is the shit that happens if they don't have those working conditions ironed out and be safe as possible. This is what happens. I don't know what to tell you. But, this is a big problem. So we'll see how this develops. But again, a lot of people on right-wing media are making it seem like this is Alec Baldwin's fault. I don't see how it's possible that it's Alec Baldwin's fault, unless Alec Baldwin is like a key producer and was one of the key people who decided to just say, fuck it, who cares if the union workers leave, and we just hire people off the street like in fucking Better Call Saul. If that's what Alec Baldwin's role was, if he played a part in that, okay, it's his fault. But really, that's whose fault it is. The people that were like, let's just keep going. Unsafe working conditions, whatever. Let's just keep filming. We got to make money. We got to get this out before Christmas. I don't know when this movie is supposed to come out. I don't, but I don't know. It's just the idea that an industry that plays with real guns is this unsafe about it. I mean, it's a problem. It's a huge problem. And so, Jesus Christ. That's all I can say. That's all I got. All right. I'm going to look on Google News here. See if I can pick up one more story for today's show. All right. I'm on my phone's hotspot for my computer, but videos don't load. I can only read text. I'm just scrolling through, folks. Hopefully everyone's having a good day. I'm sorry for the, problems this week, but what are you going to do? Yeah, there's nothing. That I want to talk. I mean, let's talk about Trump's truth bullshit. The Truth Network. Like, I'm not going to do a segment on that, but that was really funny how they had like a clause in the TOS that said you can't disparage the own, like it's supposed to be a free speech website, except you can't talk negatively about the website. So let's assume let's assume that the Truth Network just, whatever it is, let's assume it worked like normal and we're on like day 38 and everything's fine and all the right wingers are talking about QAnon and bullshit and they're just having a great time. And let's assume the site is buggy. And let's assume there's like, server problems. And then like someone posts like, oh man, these servers are shit today. That's technically against the TOS. Would you get banned for that? It's crazy. It's crazy. These motherfuckers are so stupid. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The news seems pretty boring. Bill Maher defends Dave Chappelle. One millionaire to another. Shocking. Incoming North Carolina lawmaker was at January 6th. Let's read this. I'll read this one. Okay. The Republican Party's new appointee to the North Carolina House was at the U.S. Capitol for the January 6th protest turned riot and said he was close enough to the Capitol breach to get hit repeatedly with tear gas. This is someone who apparently won election. Incoming Representative Donnie Loftus was the Gaston County Republican Party's choice this week to replace late Rep. Dana Baumgardner, who died earlier this month. So I guess he didn't win an election. Loftus posted a picture of himself to Facebook ahead of January 6th Stop the Steal rally, saying he was on a bus heading to Washington. He followed up with a comment seen in a screenshot provided to WRAL News. I might sneeze. Overnight by a source who said the posts have been deleted. I got gassed 3 times and was at the entrance when they breached the door. Loftus, an Army veteran, posted at the time, I spoke to many service members and they all agreed that we didn't want to be there, but we had no other choice. We had no other choice? How about walk away? I lived in Washington, D.C. I can tell you, very close to the Capitol building is a Wawa. I think there's only one Wawa in D.C. Maybe there's 2 now. I'm not sure. I remember. Yeah, actually, I think there's 2 now. But when I lived there was one. And it's right down the street. So, I don't know what to tell you. You can go walk over to Wawa, get yourself a hoagie, and chill the fuck out. So, that's an option. But apparently, they had no other choice. They don't get it that they work for us, and I mean that in a respectful way. What does that even mean? My oath of enlistment has the phrase both foreign and domestic, he continued. We didn't think it would actually be domestic. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Asked about the posts Friday, Loftus said via text message that his involvement was strictly peaceful. On January 6th, 2020, do you mean 2021? While I peacefully exercised my First Amendment rights in front of the U.S. Capitol, I was surprised and disappointed to watch others storm the entrance as violence ensued. Okay, so he was disappointed in that. I had absolutely zero involvement in the rioting and categorically condemned the storming of our Capitol building that day. Okay, so that's actually interesting. It's just an interesting turn of event. All right, let's give this guy a chance. We're halfway through the article. Let's give this motherfucker a chance. Let's see, can he redeem himself? When WRAL News pointed to his change in tenor since the initial Facebook post and asked for a phone conversation, Loftus said the statement is my final word on the matter. The North Carolina Republican Party declined comment through a spokesperson Friday, as did House Speaker Tim Moore. So they went there because they wanted to stop the steal, and then they were like, whoa, buddy, these motherfuckers are trying to break into Congress. Yikes! And then so, but if you go there to try to stop the steal, I mean, you kind of egged them on. You being there, it's like, now am I saying if this person wasn't there that the riot wouldn't have happened? No. But like, again, all the people being there to begin with, all the people being there gave them all What the fuck? I'm getting text messages. All the people being there to begin with, gave them, Jesus Christ. How do I turn this off? Okay. All the people being there to begin with, there were thousands of people there. If, let's say, 25% of the people that came out to that rally were there, let's say 75% of them didn't show up, they wouldn't have had the cover to go into the Capitol. It wouldn't have gotten that bad. So the fact that this guy was there, I feel like, is a problem in and of itself. He gave them the cover that they needed to get in order to breach the Capitol, and that's the big problem here. Under state law, the local party picks candidates to fill vacancies in the General Assembly. Jonathan Fletcher, chairman, blah, blah, blah. Knowing how thoroughly the FBI has investigated the January 6th incident, I trust that if Mr. Loftus had been involved with anything illegal or improper, the FBI would have brought charges against him. Now, I don't think you should be charged because you're a dumb fuck motherfucker and you supported Donald Trump's efforts to steal the election. I don't think that's a crime. I think you're just a stupid son of a bitch. And he got used and abused and thrown into the garbage. That's what I think. Right? But either way, this guy should not... This guy, it's trash. You can't go there and say, go start the steal. Go start the goddamn steal. What is the logical conclusion of stop the steal? What is that? Well, if you think the election is stolen, and they're about to steal the election, and you're so thoroughly convinced that the election was stolen, how are you going to stop the steal but for breaking into Congress and trying to kill the people doing it? And that's what they tried to do. So you can't just say, oh, stop the steal, and then as soon as everyone's like, all right, let's stop the steal, and you go whoa, just kidding, never mind. What? Weren't you there to stop the steal? Isn't that why you went there? Did you really think going, stop the steal, and watching Trump speak, that was going to stop the steal? What is the logical conclusion of stop the steal? It was always January 6th. It was always January 6th. And again, I say this all the time because I had the foresight. If some stupid ass bitch podcaster can tell something was going to go down on January 6th, what was that guy's name? Fucking Mo Brooks, Representative Mo Brooks. If he's wearing body armor as he speaks on stage because he knows something's about to go down, you're telling me that somehow everyone else was caught off guard? Nancy Pelosi, the Sergeant at Arms, the entire FBI, the National Guard, they're all just caught off guard. They didn't know. They had no idea. No, they're just dumb. They don't take right-wing violence seriously because they are right-wingers and they support most of right-wing violence. That's why. They're dumb. They're dumb. Anyone with a brain knew that January 6th was the logical conclusion of the entire Republican Party playing along with Donald Trump's stupid cringe LARPing. We all know that. And now we're just in a post-January 6th world where, these people are just, they're making laws. 14th Amendment, Section 3. Not only says that you should be banned from ever holding office, federal or state level, or municipal level, or you can't hold any elected office anywhere. Right? If you engage in insurrection. But wait, it goes on. The 14th Amendment, Section 3, not only says that you're banned from office for engaging in insurrection, but providing aid or comfort to those that are engaging in insurrection. So if you go to the Capitol on January 6th because you want to stop the steal, and then people that agree with you break into the Capitol, guess what? You gave them aid. You were there covering for them, providing them strength in numbers so that they could get in there, and comfort because you were agreeing with them every step of the way up until that moment. You give them aid and comfort. But we don't live in a world where the U.S. Constitution means anything. We know that. American citizens are executed all the time. Cruelly and unusually. That is against the Constitution. Police, all the time, will steal things. It's called civil asset forfeiture. Look it up. That's also against the Constitution, unreasonable search and seizure. You can also say that the NSA is against the Constitution. So the Constitution doesn't mean shit. But I mean, I'm going to point it out anyway. I don't think the Constitution is a suggestion. And those suggestions that they made after the Civil War, they're not being followed. And the only logical conclusion of this, in my opinion, is a second Civil War. Unless people get their shit together and say, wait a second, history is repeating itself. Let's do something about it. The Democratic Party is not doing that. Nancy Pelosi's not doing it. Joe Biden's not doing it. Joe Biden's going up there saying, yo, my Republican friends, my colleagues, my good buddies. Bro, they literally, all of them, the entire party, was in lockstep trying to make it so that you never became president. They were trying to overthrow U.S. democracy and make it so that you would never become president. And now they're your friends? This is how empires collapse. This is all visible. We can all see the writing is on the wall. And it's not my problem if you don't know how to read. So, anyway, that's the show for today. I apparently spat into the microphone and there's like a food particle. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's like a food particle stuck in the grill of the microphone. Check this out. You see that? That's bad news, folks. How do I get that out of there? That's bad news. I'll worry about that later. Anyway, folks, this is the show for today. I'm gonna do another pre-tape for tomorrow, but hopefully things will be better, back to normal by Monday. Tuesday at the absolute latest. I don't want to. I like to buffer out my estimates. I'll tell you what's most likely. That's Monday, but also it's possible it'll be Tuesday. Who knows? We'll find out. So anyway, thank you all for watching. I do appreciate that. And, yeah. Have a good one.